Hello everyone, I hope everyone's staying safe and everyone is well. I thought I'd post on the Facebook page some gospel reflections, at least try them out and see if anyone is listening out there. So today is Monday of the 4th week of Lent, and I'm going to read the gospel now. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus left Samaria for Galilee. He himself had declared that there is no respect for a prophet in his own country. But on his arrival, the Galileans received him well, having seen all that he had done at Jerusalem during the festival, which they too had attended. He went again to Cana in Galilee, where he had changed the water into wine. Now there was a court official there whose son was ill at Capernaum, and hearing that Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went and asked him to come and cure his son, as he was at the point of death. Jesus said, "So you will not believe unless you see signs and portents?" "Sir," answered the official, "come down before my child dies." "Go home," said Jesus, "your son will live." The man believed what Jesus had said and started on his way. And while he was still on the journey back, his servants met him with the news that his boy was alive. He asked them when the boy had begun to recover. "The fever left him yesterday," they said, "at the 7th hour." The father realized that this was exactly the time when Jesus had said, "Your son will live." And he and all his household believed. This was the second sign given by Jesus on his return from Judea to Galilee. The Gospel of the Lord. Well, as word was spreading about this very unusual teacher, this very unusual man who could heal, many people approached Jesus for help. And we hear about this happening many times in the Gospel accounts as he went around the villages and towns. But on the occasion we hear about today, a court official asked Jesus to come to his home and cure his seriously ill son. And his request at first is met with what seems like a refusal from Jesus. But the official wasn't put off. He persevered and said, "Come down before my child dies." And in response to the man's perseverance, Jesus grants his request, but not in the way the man expected or wanted. Jesus didn't go home with him to cure his son. He simply said the words, "Your son will live." So the man had to believe and trust in the word of Jesus. And we hear that he returned home on his own with the promise of Jesus in his heart. And on the way he discovered that his prayer had been answered. So I wonder if we share that confidence and that hope of that court official, that the Lord can work miracles in our lives, can heal. We call ourselves Christians, but are we really convinced that God cares for each of us in this way? Today's gospel story also might prompt us to ask these questions about how much we trust in God when we pray to him. When we approach the Lord in prayer, asking for his help, we might not have much confidence that he is listening. We too can feel that he's not there, that he's not answering or listening to our prayers. And when that happens, we must keep on asking like the court official in the gospel. Like him, we will discover that the Lord will answer our prayer, even in perhaps not in the way that we expected. Like the official in today's gospel, we're asked to take the Lord at his word and to travel onwards, holding on to that word in our hearts and trusting with our hearts. This is especially true, I think, in these difficult times. These times which everyone is calling unprecedented, because that's what they are. And with the suspension of public masses in churches, people will naturally feel a great sense of loss. But we have to remember at difficult times like this that the church is not primarily a building, but a body made up of living stones, the people. We are still despite the circumstances, we are still a parish family and a partnership family, and we remain as such, especially in these challenging circumstances. So let's look after one another, especially the elderly and the vulnerable, and keep in touch with each other. Let's try to keep the rhythms of prayer going at home. And as the days go on, we will try to provide ideas about how to do this. So please see this Facebook page for regular updates and our website, our Pontoc Partnership website. And we look forward with hope to the time when we can resume our normal parish life and be together once again. So God bless everyone, and I'll speak to you again soon.